Hello and good evening to all. We at Bezalel Study Consultants welcome you on behalf of University of Debrecen, Hungary for this webinar. We are so honored and just so glad to have to be associated partners with this esteemed university. And we thank you all for taking your time and joining us on this Friday for this session. And we also believe that this session will be such a valuable and worthwhile time for you to gain insights about the university as well as getting your questions answered. We believe that this will be a time that you will be able to spend knowing more about the future of your children and their studies. And before we get started, to get into the heart of this webinar, I welcome Mrs. Salome Christopher, Bezalel Group of Companies Director, to take this forward.
Thank you, Ms. Elura. Once again, good evening to everyone, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you who has joined us this evening. And thank you, Ms. Leiber, for joining with us. We're looking forward to a very fruitful session. And we have Dr. Chris. He's the founder and CEO of Bezalel Groups of Institutions. So we at Bezalel, we have been for the past 10 to 12 years, for more than a decade now, we have been helping students across the globe to find the right university at the right country, the right program. So having MOUs with a lot of universities. And right now we are extremely happy that we have had an opportunity to be associated with University of Debrecen. And we look forward to having Ms. Leiber give us more clarity about how the programs are going to be at the University of Debrecen and how you all will be benefited, and how this association can help you go forward in achieving your dream of becoming a medical doctor. And apart from that, Bezalel is also into a lot of immigration opportunities, and we have also partnered with British Council. So we work towards the helping students with IELTS, and we have a variety of programs, a variety of universities, and in a diverse number of countries. So really happy that each and every one of you could join us this evening. And thank you, Dr. Chris. And I would now hand over the session to Dr. Chris so he could introduce. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Salome, and really appreciate. And I would like to welcome Ms. Leiber for this wonderful webinar. And it's been a great opportunity for Bezalel Study Consultant and Group of Companies to get associated with the University of Debrecen for this upcoming intake. And we're so extremely happy about it. And we believe that the participant, those who have joined, end of the session. So if you have stepped in, we have logged in with so much of doubts and without clarity, I believe end of the session, you're going to have much more clarity about making a right decision in your kid's life and their career. And I'd like to play a short video about Bezalel, what we do, how we work, and what is our associations and everything. Just a clip, and then we will straight away go ahead and we'll ask Ms. Leiber to take the session.
Bezalel Study Consultants LLC in UAE is an education consultancy providing choices of world-class affordable higher education opportunities to our clients to achieve their dream through quality education. Our vision is to ensure that no one is deprived of an opportunity to excel just because affordable options of excellent quality are not accessible to them. We represent more than 200 plus education providers, including universities, colleges, and vocational institutions in the US, UK, Canada, Europe, Georgia, and Asia. Contact us for free admission counseling. For Dubai, please contact 971 505 771 081 or 971 521 262 456. For India, please contact 919 500 898 782 or 918 778 165 213. Email us inquiry@bezalelconsultants.com. For more information, visit our website www.bezalelconsultants.com.
Introducing Sarah Club, the comprehensive community management solution that makes right.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that was a short clip about Bezalel Study Consultant and Bezalel Group of Company. So we have offices in India, UAE, in Georgia, and in UK. And so we are in this industry for more than 12 years, a decade. And yeah, so we've been counseling to students and part of education and immigration work. And that's our profile. So now I would like to introduce Ms. Leiber for this event, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And so Ms. Leiber is Regional International Manager, University of Debrecen, South India Regional Office. So I would like to welcome you on behalf of Bezalel Study Consultant. Over to you, Ms. Leiber.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. Thank you, Bezalel, for organizing this webinar. And welcome everyone who has joined us today. I hope that after this webinar, you will have a clarity over Hungary as a study abroad destination and specifically University of Debrecen as the university where you can pursue your studies. First part of this webinar is going to be a presentation which I will try to cover everything about the university in the presentation, but I will also try to keep it as short as possible so that we can spend more time in the Q&A session and interacting with you guys. So let me share the screen with you. Let me know. Dr. Chris, can you enable the screen sharing for me? Thank you. Let me know when you guys are able to see the screen. Is it visible? All right, perfect. So I'm going to start with giving you guys a bit of an overview about where the university is located, a bit of an overview of the country and the city in which University of Debrecen is. So University of Debrecen is located in Hungary, which is a country in Central Europe. It is the member of European Union and also the part of Schengen zone. Population-wise, not an overpopulated country. The population is around 10 million people who are living on the area of 93,000 kilometers square. Budapest is the capital of the country, and it is one of the safest countries in the world because according to the Global Peace Index of 2023-24, Hungary ranks as the 18th most peaceful countries in the world. Now, getting a bit specific, if we talk about the city in which the university is located, the city of Debrecen. Debrecen is the second largest city in Hungary, second to its capital, Budapest. And it's not that far away from Budapest either. The distance between the two cities is only 230 kilometers. Population-wise, again, not an overcrowded city. 200,000 people are living in, around 200,000 people are living here. And in the recent years, especially in the last 2 to 4 years, a lot of industrial investment has been coming in the city of Debrecen. For example, BMW has recently opened their largest plant in Europe in the city of Debrecen. Cattle has invested a lot of like millions of dollars in the city. We have companies like Bosch, etc., around the city. So because of that, now Debrecen city is included in the top 30 cities in European Union with more than 1,500 hectares of industrial parkland. And with all of these industrial boom in the city, it obviously means that the job market in the city is also booming, which we can discuss later on because it is definitely a pro for all the students who are going to pursue their studies here. But with this brief overview of where the university is located, now we are going to get into the details of the university itself. So this is the main campus of university on the screen right now. If we start with a brief historical background of the institute, University of Debrecen has a legacy of around 5 centuries. In 1538, it was founded as a reformed college, which was then upgraded to university level in 1912. It is a public university, which makes it the largest government-supported university of Hungary. We have 8 campuses, and 13 faculties are operating on these 8 campuses. In total, we have around 30,000 students who are studying at the university, and out of these more than 30,000 students, more than 7,300 are international students from more than 120 different countries. So this means that around 24% of the student population at University of Debrecen is of international students. In terms of academic staff, we have more than 1,500 academic staff members, which makes the student to academic staff ratio 20:1. And a brief look at the infrastructure of university, we have 363 university buildings. So this was just an overview of the university. Now, if we talk about the rankings of university, according to the QS World University Ranking of 2024, University of Debrecen ranks between 671 to 680. Subject area-wise, the rank of university is 351 to 400, and specifically in the Eastern European region, according to the QS Europe University Rankings, university is at 14th rank. And if we specify it even further, in Hungary, University of Debrecen is the second best institute of the country. Now on to the accreditations that university has. So all the programs that are offered at University of Debrecen are accredited by Hungarian Accreditation Board. Now, Hungarian Accreditation Board is the part of European Accreditation Board, which means that all of these degrees are recognized in all over Europe. Specifically, if we talk about the medical programs, these programs are recognized by WHO, State Education Department of New York, Medical Board of California, NMC India, Pakistan Medical Council, General Medical Council of the UK, Israel, Ireland, Iran, Norway, and the UAE. And we also have other programs apart from medicine, which also have all sorts of accreditations. For example, the engineering programs are accredited by FEANI, and a lot of the countries' engineering councils, they recognize the programs that are accredited by FEANI. So overall, the degrees of the university are well recognized, well accredited in all over the world. So with that, now we move towards the programs themselves. In the recent years, actually, internationalization has been one of the main focuses of university. And because of that, not only is university working on making the environment at the university more inclusive for international students, but also the number of programs that are offered for international students are also quite high. So as of right now, we are offering more than 100 programs for international students in multiple different fields. And each year, 1 or 2 more programs are added to this list. All of these programs for the international students are completely conducted in English language. So as you can see, 34 out of 87 bachelor's programs, 39 out of 100 master's programs, 3 out of 10 one-tier programs, and all the PhD programs are available for international students, all of which completely conducted in English language. Now, if we get into a bit more detail about these programs, so we have the medical school, which offers medical and health sciences programs, and then we have the non-medical programs. So in medical, we offer the foundation courses, which is the basic medicine course, BMC, BMC 1 and BMC 2 for the September intake, and the BMC 2 program starts in January. These are foundation courses, so preparatory programs for the students. And apart from that, we have medicine course, dentistry, pharmacy. In bachelor's, we have other health sciences courses as well. For example, nursing, physiotherapy, dietetics, public health, and then similar courses in master's level as well. So public health, social work, molecular biology, etc. Which offers similar courses. So we have foundation courses for non-medical programs as well for two of the intakes, September and February. And then we offer various bachelor's and master's level programs in the fields of agriculture, engineering, IT, business, humanities, natural sciences, and law. Last program, the law one, is only offered in master's level, not in the bachelor's level. Now, for students who are interested in PhD, we have options for them as well. So, agriculture, arts and humanities, IT, medicine, natural sciences, social sciences. These are some of the fields in which the students can apply if they want to go for a PhD program. But other than that, with that, I will get into some of the financial aspect of studying at the university. So you will see that the tuition fee of the university is really affordable if you compare it to some of the other study abroad destinations. So this is just to give you a range of the tuition fee. So for bachelor's programs, the range is 6,000 to 10,000 USD per year. For masters, it is 7,000 to between 6,500 to 16,900 USD per year. Then the BMC1 and BMC2, which were the two foundation programs for medicine, these are offered for 7,000 USD, whereas the other foundation courses, they are for 6,000 and 4,800 USD. When it comes to medicine, the tuition fee for medicine is 16,900 USD per year, and for dentistry, it is 17,500 USD per year. And other health sciences programs, like I mentioned, nursing, physiotherapy, etc., they range between 5,500 to 8,500 USD per year. This is the university's tuition fee, and apart from that, you have to pay the application fee and the entrance charges, which are 150 and 350 USD respectively. And now on to the scholarships and financial aid options that the university offers. So the very first one is the UD International Scholarship Program of 2024, which is currently open. It is offered for specific nationalities. So nationalities like Indians, Syrians, Jordanians, and we have a long list of nationalities who can apply for the UD International Scholarship Program. And this is a partial scholarship of up to 90%. So basically we have three slots, 30%, 60%, and 90%. And the students can go for health sciences programs. They can go for some of the engineering, IT, business programs availing this scholarship. And this scholarship applies for all of the years of university. So this one is open, and the deadline for this is 15th of June, similar to the deadline for the September intake. Then we have the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Program. So this is offered by the Hungarian government. The government has partnered with the governments of some of the other countries, and they are offering fully funded scholarships for students. There is contribution in the accommodation. A monthly stipend is also given to the students. So a set number of students are nominated from the sending partners of the country, and then eventually they are nominated by the university and then in Hungary, and they can avail this scholarship, which is fully funded. Again, you get the stipend and a contribution for your accommodation too. Right now, we have more than 2,700 students who are studying at the university and availing this fully funded scholarship. On number three, we have the academic performance-based scholarship, which is the scholarship that the students can avail from the second year of their university. So depending on their academic performance in the first year of university, they can avail a tuition fee reduction of up to 20% in their second year. Then we have the siblings discount. So if an applicant has a sibling who is already enrolled in the same faculty the applicant is going for, then the university can give them a discount. Erasmus Plus program is an exchange program within Europe, so the students can apply for that as well. And lastly, we have the scholarship program for Christian young people, which is exclusive for the Christian students, and they will have to apply through their church. So these are all the scholarships and financial aid options. And with that, we get into the admission requirements. So this is just to give you a general idea of the admission requirements. The rest of the details we can discuss individual cases in the Q&A session, or you can get your profile assessed by your agent. But the general academic profile that is required for medical school is the 50% or 60% in your last course, whether that is bachelor's or master's. And for non-medical programs, the general academic background should be around 65% in your previous courses. And some of the documents that are going to be required during the admission procedure are just very general things. For example, the application form of university, passport copy, education documents, short CV, which is optional if you have it, well and good. Same for the English proficiency certificate. If you have it, you can submit it, but otherwise it is not a requirement from the university side. So any sort of IELTS, PT, etc., these are not mandatory to apply for the university. And why is it not mandatory? Because the university has its own entrance interview with all of the applicants. So during that interview, university can assess whether the student is fluent in English or not. So if you can understand English language and you can express yourself in the language, then you don't need any certification to prove that. Now, just a brief overview on the admission procedure. So initially, you will have to send your academic documents to your agent, and they will get your documents assessed by the university. Then you go ahead with the fee payments, for example, the application fee, the entrance exam charges, etc. And your agent will be submitting all of the required documents. They will be arranging your documents file, sending it to the university. And then depending on your program, you will have the entrance exam and interview. So for most of the bachelor's program, all the students have their written exam as well as the interview. But for some of the health sciences programs like nursing, physiotherapy, dietetics, public health, in bachelor's level, and then all the master's level program, they don't have any written entrance exam. For them, the students only have to sit for the entrance interview. And in that entrance interview, there are questions related to their academics. So they want to assess their knowledge, but also the questions are to assess their English communication skills. So that is why I mentioned earlier that any sort of certification is not required, because this is the interview that is going to happen with all the applicants, and their English communication skills will be assessed in this interview. And then they ask motivation related questions like, why are you choosing this university, why this program? Very basic questions, and you will get your guidance from Bezalel regarding the interview as well, about how to ace the interview. Now, the very next day of your interview, you receive your decision from the university, you get your letter of acceptance, and then you proceed further with the rest of the steps. So this is overall the admission procedure, very straightforward, doesn't take too long to apply to university. You can quickly get your letter of acceptance as well, because it is given the very next day of your interview. So this is it from my side. Now I think that we can go towards the Q&A session. Um, I think we have a question in the chat already.
Thank you, Ms. Leiber. Really appreciate. So now I would ask all the attendees to drop in your questions, or you can raise your hands. So we have Leiba with us, so she can quickly go ahead and answer your queries. I think there are a few questions are coming up. So yes, over to you, Ms. Leiba.
Okay, so I'm seeing that in the chat box we have one question. Could you please give us more details about the scholarships for MBBS? Unfortunately, right now for MBBS, the scholarship is only offered for 4 or 5 specific nationalities. So for most of the students, it is not available, and that scholarship is only like a 30% tuition fee reduction. But for students who want to apply only through a scholarship, they can aim for the next year's September intake and start their application for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Program, which is a fully funded scholarship program, and your application will start in the mid of November for that. And for that, again, during that time period, you can contact your agent and they will guide you accordingly. Do you think rankings matter on the basis of choosing universities? Yes, rankings do matter because it helps you realize which university is the best university in the region. So yeah, rankings do matter. What about clinical psychology as a career? Do you offer any programs for it? And in 11th and 12th, is it necessary for a core subject to be psychology? So in bachelor's level, we do not offer clinical psychology. It is offered in master's level, but again, for master's too, it is only offered for Hungarian students, not for the international students. Um, but we do offer a psychology program, not a clinical psychology one, just a general psychology program in bachelor's level. And for that, in your previous academic background, it is not necessary that you have studied psychology. For the psychology students, again, they will have a written test as well as the interview. And for the written test, that is only an English assessment test, English language assessment. Um, and for the interview they give you a syllabus, a certain topics, that it's not necessarily a syllabus, but they list a certain topics and they will share it with you. So you have to prepare for those topics, and in that interview they will ask these questions. So if you think that even without a psychology subject in your grade 11 and 12 you will be able to prepare for the entrance interview, then you should apply. But do keep that in mind that the psychology program, for this program there are a lot of applications coming in. So because of that you have to prepare really well for the interview, so that you can get admitted to the program. Is it compulsory to do BMC before applying for MD? No, not compulsory at all. There are two ways that you can go for the BMC foundation program. So one way is that initially, when your agent gets your profile assessed by the university says that the profile of the student is not that good. So maybe it's better that they initially apply for the foundation program instead of the medicine one. But even in this case, when you have your entrance exam, if you perform well in the entrance exam, the university will give you direct admission to medicine program. And the other way is that you were initially eligible for the medicine program, you didn't perform that well, but university still saw potential in you. So instead of rejecting you, they offer you the foundation program. So the crux of all of this is that your admission in medicine or BMC relies on your performance in your entrance exam. Whether you are eligible for BMC initially, whether you are eligible for medicine program, eventually the decision is going to be made on the basis of your entrance exam and interviews performance. Do you have any partnership with US universities? Do you offer any support for USMLE for medicine students? Yes, we do offer support for the students who are applying for USMLE. In fact, the university has the USMLE Kaplan course for the students who are interested in proceeding with the USMLE exam. And for our medicine graduates, the success rate of USMLE in the first attempt is more than 90%. And the overall success rate for the USMLE students is 99%. So yes, the university will assist you in that. May I know about after graduation, what are the opportunities in the country? So yeah, I briefly touched upon this in the presentation, but right now, Debrecen and Hungary overall is a booming city in Europe. A lot of the big companies, they are shifting their industrial setups from other parts of Europe into Hungary. And that is why BMW has also invested in the Debrecen city, and they are going to start making the cars there in their plant either this year or the next year, I'm not sure, but the progress of the city is you can really see it, because initially too, around 2018 Financial Times report was adding Debrecen city in the top 10 European cities of the future. In fact, the report added Debrecen city 3 times in a row in their top 10 cities of the future list. And now at this point, you can really see it happening. And some of the critics also say that by the end of 2028, you can expect Debrecen city to be a better city than Budapest, which is the capital of Hungary. So these are like really big claims. And now, because of the investments that are coming into the city, you can really see these things happening. So, because of all of this that is going on, the job market in the city is and the country overall is also really booming. So, specifically, if we talk about the engineering, IT, business related students, and then students who have their background in environmental sciences or agriculture, etc., for them the opportunities in the country are really high. And because if you study at University of Debrecen, firstly, the repute of university is really good. It is the second best university of the country. And secondly, the thing is that for all of our faculties, the employability rate is more than 90%. Almost all of our students manage to get a job within the first 6 months of graduating. And the main point that I would like to highlight is that these students get their jobs in their relevant fields. They don't end up doing odd jobs there. They usually get the job in their relevant fields, which is related to their degrees. And specifically for two of our faculties, the medicine faculty and the informatics faculty, the IT one, the employability rate is 100%. So yes, the opportunities are high in the country, and even as a graduate of university, you will find yourself in a good place, whether you want to stay in the country or whether you want to move to other parts of the world. For example, in medicine, we are seeing that a lot of the students, they end up moving to the US. They do the US MLE. Some of them, they move to Western Europe. So even as a gateway into Western Europe and in US, UK, you can really consider studying at the university. Does Debrecen offer placements? No, it does not assist in placements as of right now. Around how much world ranking would you say is good for a university? So, all right, let me shed some insight into this, because see, you have to understand what all is considered when the list for the rankings are made. For example, if you consider University of Debrecen, if you ignore the rankings in the Eastern European region, etc., overall in the world, the ranking is 671. And you can say that it's not a good ranking, right? But why is the ranking of university so low? It is because even though the university has been doing researches, it has some of the best equipments there. In teaching ranking, the university ranks at around 150 to 200. But still, overall, in the QS World University ranking, the rank is 671. Why is that? Because even though there were so many researches coming from University of Debrecen, all of them were being done in Hungarian language. Now, because of that, the cross citations that were happening through those researches were not that high. And cross citations is one of the things that QS rankings really consider when they are ranking all the universities, like how many other researchers are citing from the researches of University of Debrecen. And because of the less number of cross citations, because of the language barrier, the university's ranking is not that high. So, yes, overall rankings and these things matter. But again, that is the reason why you have to get into nitty gritty. See what is the ranking of university in medicine subjects. See what is the ranking of university specifically when it comes to teaching facilities, when it comes to specifically in the country, what is the ranking of university. So yeah, it matters, but there are like nuances when it comes to these things. So is the MBBS degree from University of Debrecen recognized in the UK, and how hard will it be to get a job in the UK? The university's degree is recognized. You will have to go through the regular procedure for the UK MLE and everything. And again, the employability rate of university is, specifically in the medicine field, is 100%. And our students, they usually, from the feedback that and the statistics that we have, they do find a job within the first 6 months of graduating. If we are to choose to study MBBS there after studying in Hungary, will we get to work there as a doctor and get PR? Yes, graduation, you get a post-study work visa of 9 months. And in that 9 months, you can manage to find a job in the country. When it comes to PR is definitely a possibility, but the laws, immigration laws in the country have changed recently. So now getting a PR is not as easy. But as university representative, I cannot give you a deep insight into the PR and everything. For that, you will be in touch with your agent, may be able to guide you about that, or you will have to take help of any immigration lawyer. Which all countries other than Hungary accepts the MBBS degree from the universities? Um, I listed some of these countries in the presentation as well. So we have UAE, Israel, Ireland, Iran, Norway, India, Pakistan, US, obviously. So a lot of different countries, their medical councils or governing bodies who take care of the medicine there, they have accredited University of Debrecen. And also the main thing is that it has been accredited by WFME and WHO. So these are sort of like the main accreditations specifically for the medicine program that are required. So yeah. Can you please brief about the hostel accommodation and etc.? So for the accommodation, we have hostels at university. If you apply to the university earlier on, you will be able to get, you might be able to get accommodation on campus, but usually for the first semester students, the accommodation on campus is not available because by that time, the final year students, they haven't left their dormitories yet. So because of that, we do assist you in the private accommodation. For that, we will share all the important material with Basilil, and they are able to guide you about the private accommodation as well. Can the credit carry forward or transfer? If you're asking about getting a credit transfer from another university to University of Debrecen, yes, that is possible. And if you're asking whether you can get the credits that you have studied at University of Debrecen transferred to any other university, then yes, that is also possible. What is the rate of acceptance for the medicine programs? Okay, so a lot of students have this question because obviously we have the entrance exam and interview, but this is a tricky one because for University of Debrecen, we don't necessarily have like a system where we pool all the applicants together, then we assess them, and then we can give you an acceptance rate. For us, it is sort of like a first come, first serve basis. So we have our like a set number of exams each month, and students who apply for a medicine program earlier, they can get their seats reserved earlier. But if you're applying late, for example, right now, if you're applying, then you are automatically gonna go to the waiting list. for medicine program. So because again, we have limited number of seats available, students have already gotten their seats reserved because they applied earlier. So because of that, because we are not pulling down all the applicants and then like assessing their profiles and everything, that's why we can't really give you an acceptance rate. But I will say that the rejection rate is really less, because for most of the applicants, I will say, for example, on May 26th, we had our exam. Out of all the students, only one student got rejected. So all of the rest of the applicants, they were able to get either into the direct medicine program. Those who didn't manage to get into the direct medicine program, they got into the foundation program. So there are barely any rejections, and even the student who got rejected in the exam, he wasn't very confident in the interview part, so he wasn't able to answer anything, even though the professor really encouraged him to answer, but probably he was anxious. So the rejection rate, like my point is that the rejection rate is very low. Even if you're not able to get directly into the medicine program, you can get into a BMC program. And even if you get into the BMC program, if there are exams coming up, you have the opportunity to do the retake. So that like in the next exam, you have an idea of what to expect. If you were nervous first time, then the second time you can perform better. And a lot of the students in their retakes, they eventually do get into the direct medicine program. What is the course duration for MBBS program? The course duration is 12 semesters, so 6 years, and the last year is your internship. How are the clinical opportunities? The last year is the internship, and we have two hospitals which are affiliated with the university. Basically, you can say that they are the part of university itself, because one of the hospitals is the city hospital of Debrecen. So the students, they are doing their internship there. And are there cadavers available for students? Yes, there are cadavers available for students. Can I apply for scholarship program for Christian young people for medicine? Yes, you can. Not right now because the application is closed, but towards the end of the year, you will be able to apply. What are the future opportunities outside the country once graduated with MBBS? Well, your degree is recognized in a lot of different countries, so it's up to you which opportunity you would want to go for. Again, if we when we look at our graduates who are international students, a lot of them either choose US or Germany. So this is what most of the students are doing, but again, we can't really suggest anything. It's up to you. You can assess your options. Your agent will be able to guide you in that, and then you can choose the best thing for yourself. My daughter has not appeared in NEET this year, and if she continues for MBBS program, will she be able to do PG practice in India? No, because NEET is not a requirement from the university side at all. But if you want to eventually go back to India, then based on India's laws and rules and regulations, you require need to then do your qualifying exam and everything. I have no idea what is going on with India, to be honest, because they just keep on changing their policies when it comes to medicine. But need or anything like that. For example, for Pakistan, it is MCAT. For Bangladesh and Nepal as well, there are a lot of different exams that the students do before getting enrolled in medicine there. But none of these exams are a requirement of university. But a lot of the students who are applying, they do still sit for these exams because they want to, they just want sort of like a safe uh, route, that in case they go back to their home country afterwards, they have the option to do their practice there. Is living in Debrecen affordable? Living in Debrecen is affordable if you compare it to some of the other um, destinations that are available out there. But I will say that in like 4 to 5 years ago, living in Debrecen was even more affordable. It was like, especially if you compare it to Budapest, living in Debrecen was way cheaper. But now, because as I mentioned, a lot of the things are happening in the city is booming and everything. So now the living expenses of Debrecen and Budapest are the same. So if I have to give you sort of like a range for accommodation, transport, food, for these three things, most of the students they manage to live in like 400 USD to 700 USD per month. Again, depends on the living style of the student, the type of accommodations they have, the type of food that they are getting, but this is a general range that 400 to 700 USD per month. Could you please guide on when is the test and what kind of questions are there for medical entrance, and are they subject specific only? Um, yes, so the next test that is happening is on June 30th. And the for the medicine entrance exam, the students will have the written test as well as the interview. Now, for the written test, biology is a compulsory subject, and then the student has the option to choose either chemistry with it or to go with physics. So it's up to the student, and then they will have the interview as well. In interview, the questions that they ask are also going to be from these two subjects. Now, apart about the preparation for the medical entrance exam, you will be able to get the exam topics and sample tests from your agent to prepare for the exam. And subject wise, yes, because the students initially they have 40 minutes to do one subject, biology, then 40 minutes next to do the other subject, which can be chemistry or physics depending on what the student's preference was. So yeah, this is the general format of the entrance exam. Is it required to learn the national language? It is not required, but I will say that for, let's say, medicine students, university gives them a 2 weeks long Hungarian crash course in the very beginning of their program. And this is because these students will be interacting with patients and everything in the city hospital. So that's why they need to learn at least some language. So when you talk to these students, they say that we don't know Hungarian, but if you put us in the hospital setting, yes, we can speak with patients in Hungarian language because we know those specific terms and phrases. So for such programs, the university does provide some guidance to the students, training to the students about the language. But other than that, the program itself is completely conducted in English language. PG course for medical graduates from another country. What are specialty program in University of Debrecen? I think that they're asking that if they are a medicine graduate, how can they do their specialization at university? So we have specialization courses, but these courses are only for Hungarian students, at least as of right now. So for international students, at the moment, we are not offering any specializations. Is it true that if we do our medicine program at Debrecen, we won't need to write the PLAB test to practice in UK? This is true, but PLAB exam is going to be replaced with the UKMLE. So the UKMLE is required. So yeah. Are you aware of the FMGE pass percentage? What is FMGE? Are there any Indian students attending your program? I think uh, someone from Bezalel, you can guide me on what FMG is.
So the FMG is the foreign medical graduate exam that happens in India once the student finish medicine in foreign country. So NMC requires the student to appear for FMG.
So FMGE is like the next one and next
Yeah,
two?
exactly, it's the same.
Right, right.
Yes,
Well,
so
then again, you will be doing that after you have graduated from the university. So we have a lot of Indian students attending the program, but I'm not sure what the question is.
now what they're trying to ask, the percentage of the FMG, I mean, the next exam students have cleared after studying and graduating from Debrecen.
We don't have any such percentage. We have the percentage for the US MLE programs, but not for this one.
Thank you.
May I know the passing rate in year one? Year one of medicine, I guess they're
Yes,
asking.
year one of the medicine. So if we have a batch of 100, so the pass percentage of those 100 students moving to the second year.
Well, we don't have again any specific statistic for that, but based on what I have heard from the university officials, they have mentioned that a lot of the applicants who initially applied to other universities, which can be higher in ranking, or students who initially didn't get admitted to University of Debrecen, they went to any other university. A lot of the times, because they are dropping out from those universities, they try to transfer their credits to University of Debrecen, because the dropout rate at University of Debrecen is a lot lower. So yeah, but again, we don't have any specific statistic that I can share with you. I am studying medicine program in Czech Republic. Can I transfer to Debrecen? Yes, transfer, I wouldn't say, but credit exemption is what you should be looking for initially, because see, for credit exemption as well as the transfer, what the process is that initially, just like a regular applicant, you will have to sit for the entrance exam and interview for first year. Once you qualify for first year, then the universities assesses your course details of the course that you were already studying in, and then they compare that course with the course that is offered at University of Debrecen. So if there is like a 70% or more similarity between those credit hours, then those specific credit hours are exempted for you. So saying that you can just transfer, for example, if you want to directly get into the second year, that these things cannot be assured to you at the very start, because firstly you have to sit for the exam, and then eventually it is the faculty, it is the professors who make the decision that all right, this student does not need to study these credit hours. So yeah, initially you have to sit for the exam for first year. Can I take a transfer from Czech Republic from sixth year to University of Debrecen? I suggest you don't, because um, at least you have to study 50% of your course at University of Debrecen. So automatically, if it's more than 2 or 3 years, you are all of these credits, all of the years that you have already studied in the other university, they you are going to lose all of that, because again, the university is automatically going to consider you for either second, or in rare, very rare cases, third year. So it's up to you if you want to still go ahead with it, but you can't just get admission in the internship of university and graduate with the degree of University of Debrecen. Is the language barrier going to be a big deal while doing MBBS, or does the university help in learning the language by providing foundation courses? The university does help in learning the language, especially for medicine and nursing students, because they are actually interacting with the patients. They are in the hospital setting, so they need that to graduate. So yeah, university does assist. Even right now, the students who are getting admitted to the medicine course, they like the course itself starts in September, but these students have to come to university at least on August 25, because the Hungarian crash course is going to start from August 26. So yeah, the university does assist the students in learning the language. Some students from the university is saying that university has 23% cap and they fail the rest. Is it true? No, the dropout rate of university, especially for medicine program, it is really low. Another thing that I would like to mention is that a lot of the times the students, they really get disappointed when they don't get directly into medicine, and instead they get admission to the foundation program. And for those students, the university has said that most of the students who graduate their fifth or sixth year of medicine, because for the last year is the internship, most of the students who stay at the university are the ones who have taken the BMC program. And the reason is that a lot of these times, students, when they go into medicine program, especially the medicine program in a European university, they have a hard time um, understanding the pressure that comes with it. You are learning, you are in the medicine program, and then you have to uphold the European standards as well. So a lot of the students, they find it very difficult. So students who initially do the foundation program, they have a good base. So they are familiarized with the university settings without actually being in the medicine program and being in actual university settings, you can say, in a way. So yeah, this was something that I just wanted to mention, that for students, even if you get into the foundation year, that is actually a really good thing, because most of the students who take foundation, they don't end up dropping out because they don't find it very difficult to survive in this program. Is food provided in the dorm? I'm not really sure, but I don't think so. You will have to arrange your food by yourself. Kitchen is provided though, if that is a query. Um, which month is the right time to apply for the medicine next year? As soon as possible. Because, for example, the January intake, we have a January intake as well, by the way, but in the January intake, you won't be going for the direct medicine course. You will only be going for the BMC program, but that BMC program is only for 1 semester. You the course contents for the September BMC and January BMC are the same, but the only difference is that is the duration, and because of that, it is sort of like a more intensive program. You don't have to spend a full year doing foundation. You can do it in 5 to 6 months only. So once the January intake is closed, then from February onwards, you can start applying for the September 2025 intake. And again, the earlier you apply, the better, because if you delay, again, as I said, right now, if you apply for September 2024, your name is automatically going to go for the waiting list, even if you perform well. So yeah, the earlier you apply, the more chances you have to get admitted to the medicine program. Which semester does clinical postings begin? For that, your agent will share the bulletins with you. So just reach out to your agent, and they will provide you the bulletins. And in the bulletins, there are course details for each of the year. So you can take a look by yourself when which things are being taught. Will students receive stipend during internships? No, students don't receive stipend during internships. Which month will be the right month for applying scholarship for medicine? And also, please drop your UA agent contact. The contact details were mentioned in the very beginning of the webinar. So you can again either drop your contact number here in the chat and the agent will contact you. Otherwise, you can just go on their social media or whatever to contact the agent. And I forgot what the other part of the question was, but yeah. Which is more easier, PLAB or FMGE? Next. Again, as the university representative, I can't really give you an answer for that. So get in touch with your agent. Maybe they can shed some light on that. Can we apply directly through the university website or need to go via agent? If you go via agent, you will get assistance in your visa process. So it's up to you, really. If you go with agency, as Bezalel, they have like a 10 years of more than 10 years experience in the field. So obviously, if you're trying to get into it yourself, there might be certain hiccups which can be avoided if you apply through someone who knows what they're doing. What is the student to faculty ratio? It's 20:1. What is more easier? Again, as the representative of university, we can't really tell you about that. After the student gets into medicine, is there any such case or data wherein the student had to drop out in the medicine? If yes, could you specify the reason? No, we don't have any such data as such, but again, a lot of the times the reason is that surviving in the medicine program is not that easy. A lot of the students ask about like, can we work while studying, etc., etc. But medicine students, they don't get any time to work while studying. That is just the reality of the program. It is a difficult program, so a lot of the students, they just can't bear with the pressure that comes with it. How many exams will the students roughly have in a year? For that, you will be given orientation because the course itself keeps on changing, but because as new things come into the field, the professors, they have to amend whatever the structure of the course is. For the latest course details, again, the bulletins are the ones that are going to help you, and that you can get from your agent. What if the student doesn't pass the entrance exam even after giving 2 or 3 attempts? For the attempts, if you got into BMC, if initially the formal procedure is that you have to request the faculty members who actually took your entrance interview, that, okay, can I do another retake? For medicine students, especially for the students who got into BMC, they don't find, most of the times it's kind of like obvious for us that they will get a chance, a second chance, but getting a third chance is very unlikely, because you have the professors, they're going to see it as a waste of their time, because if the student wasn't able to perform well in the first year, then first time, then why not in the second time? Can you explain what is BMC? BMC stands for Basic Medicine Course. It is basically a foundation program, sort of like to prepare the students for the medicine course itself. So, for example, during the entrance exam, the professors think that the student, they have the knowledge, but the knowledge is not enough that they can start the medicine program. For example, maybe they know tiny details, but the basic details the student is unaware of. So in that case, they offer them the BMC program so that the students, they can get their knowledge up to mark in that 1 year or 1 semester, and then from September onwards they get into the medicine program. And the BMC program is even offered for like other programs like dentistry and pharmacy as well. If we are studying in an Indian curriculum, do we require NEET results to join the university? No, it is not a requirement. Can we access the recording of this Zoom meet?
Yes, the recording session is recorded, and we would be able to send the link to all our attendees after the session. And also, we have the same recording is going on live in our YouTube channel, so that the link also will be shared.
I am in grade 11 right now, and I have an Indian visa. So how do I get in the university? Once you have your predicted scores for grade 12 or any sort of documentation that proves that you are in grade 12, you can start your application by sending the documents to Bezalel. They are going to get your applications launched. You will have your entrance exam. After the entrance exam, when you are accepted to the university, you just have to wait to complete your grade 12, and from September onwards, you can join the university. Where do most of the Debrecen students go for PG? A lot of them go to Western Europe, but again, I can't really give you a lot of insights as the university representative. So After graduation from the MBBS program, can I apply for PG in another country, or does Debrecen also have it? Yes, you can apply for PG in another country. Debrecen has the PG courses, but not for international students. So Debrecen, at least as of right now, maybe by the time you graduate, we are offering courses, because each year the university introduces like 1 or 2 new courses for international students. But as of right now, we are not offering any specializations or PG courses. Like the course that we have in master's level is the public health course, in which if you want to go ahead with that in master's level. But other than that, if you're asking about like surgery or anything like that, we don't have it right now. Do we require NEET results to join the university, or is 12th results enough? 12th results are enough. Even I would say that 11th results are enough if you have any documentation showing that you are currently enrolled in grade 12. Even then you can apply to the university. If you have the predicted scores of the grade 12, even then you can launch your application. Yes, university works 5 days a week. What if the student doesn't pass the entrance exam even after giving 2 3 attempts? Well, then the 3 attempts most likely will not happen. But then what do you think is going to happen when you don't pass the exam? You're going to be rejected. I have taken physics, biology, chemistry, and maths as my subjects. So will my maths marks matter for getting in the university? Depends on which program you're going for. Overall, if you have more than 65% marks, if you're going for non-medical program, you are gonna be eligible for medicine if you have more than 50% marks in all of these subjects individually and overall, then you are eligible to sit for the exam. The rest depends on your performance in the exam and interview. The main idea is that for most of the programs of university, you can take the university's entrance exam as a second chance, that even if you weren't able to perform like 80-90% in your grade 12, if you perform well in the university's exam and interview, if you prepare well for that, then obviously you can be admitted directly to the program, the bachelor's program. When is the first month to apply for 2025 intake and the scholarship for the same? You can start sending applications by February, I would say, as soon as the January intake closes. So February, March would be a great time to start, I would say. What time the classes start and ends, and what time depends on the program. For some programs, there are more lectures and um, practical work is a bit less, but then we have programs in which there's a lot of practical work, and seminars and lectures are lesser. So, and it also depends on the semester. So I can't really give you an answer for that. It really depends on which semester and which program you are doing. Is that it?
Just one last question is there. What time the classes start and end?
Yeah, but we can't tell you about the classes start and end times, because it really depends on which semester and which program you are in.
Right. Thank you so much. And I would like to give, yes, there are a few questions are coming up. For medicine program, how are the exams conducted written?
For students who are based in the UAE, the exams are conducted in person. So initially we were doing our exams on paper, the written part as well, but in the last exam we switched to online exam. It's gonna happen on site. You will have a venue on which you will have to be present at, but the exam is gonna be online, so students have to bring their own laptops and stuff. Around a week before the exam, we share all of the details with you. Your agent is going to guide you about all the minute details that you should be taking care of during the exam. So um, yeah. How much percentage are we required to score in our 12th exam? And can you give a brief explanation on the scholarships? So for the 12th exam, if you're going for medicine, if you have even like a 50%, you can sit for the entrance exam. If you are going for the non-medical courses, then if you have like a 60 to 70% overall percentage, then you might be able to go for the foundation. But if you have 70% above, then definitely you can sit for the exam for direct bachelor's.
So, meanwhile, I have somebody raised their hand. I think there's one participant. Yes, you can. Is it Mr. Vishwanathan? So you can, and you can ask your question. Meanwhile, Laiba, can you answer the other question, which is on the
Yeah, so for medicine program in year 1 to 6, is it written exam or oral exam? Please advise. The exams are written as far as I know, but again, you will get all of these details when you enroll in the university. During the first week, you have your orientation. So during that orientation, all of these details are going to be explained to the students about what they have gotten themselves into. For CBSE students residing in UAE who will be our sending partner, on which side can we apply for the scholarship? So the sending partner is going to be whatever your nationality is. All right. So if a student is an Indian national, for Indian nationals for the stipendium scholarship, your sending partner is the UGC. If you are a Pakistani national, then AGC is going to be your sending partner. So and if you want to get information about these partners, then you can get in touch with your agent. They will guide you according to your nationality about what the steps for you are going to look like.
Yeah, Mr. Vishwanathan, you can ask your question. You have to unmute your mic.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Dr. Chris and your team for a wonderful opportunity. And this is the need of hour for Indian students. And good evening, ma'am. This is Vishwanathan from India. And I have a couple of questions. Please allow me. The first question is about what is the duration of MD alone? Because you have mentioned BCMS and the MD. And if it is the MD 6 years, and what is the internship? Because in Indian, as far as Indian NMC rules, students supposed to go through 2 years clinical rotation, 2 years preclinical, and 1 year internship where they are going to study. So in that context, like how many years students is going to study the overall MD program? My second question is, sorry, can I? Yeah, the
Yeah,
second
go ahead.
question. Yeah, most of the students, Indian students, what I have seen, people are wants to study in Europe. This is the best opportunity. But the only thing which I want to ask you, ma'am, what is the possibilities after they completed the PG, UG program and MD program? Is there any possibility students can give the licensure exam of yours? And if the clear licensure of Hungary, can students can go and practice anywhere in Schengen country? Thank you. Thank you,
All
Dr.
right. So your first question was about the duration for the medicine course, right? So the BMC course, the duration for that is a separate thing. And MD course, the medicine course, it is a separate thing. So for BMC, we have two options. Either you can go for the 1 semester long BMC or you can go for the 2 semesters long BMC. That is separate. After that, when you start your medicine program, this program is for 12 semesters, so 6 years. And then the last year of the program is completely your internship. I hope that is clear. Now, you were asking, I understand that for the NMC, they um, changed their rules and regulations, but as far as my understanding is, NMC recognizes all the programs that are recognized by WFME. So University of Debrecen's program is recognized by WFME. So that's that. Also, you were asking about the licensing exam. So by the end of the MD program, the students will be sitting for the Hungarian licensing exam. So when they graduate with their Hungarian license to practice there. And because the program is accredited in Europe, so the degree is going to be recognized in all of the Schengen countries, but depending on the country's rules and regulations, like I mentioned, like for example in India too, if the country's regulation is that you have to do NEET and the FMGE, I guess, so all of these tests are required according to the country's law. So same goes for the countries in Europe as well. If there is anything additional required from the country's side, then the students will have to do that. But when it comes to the accreditation or recognition of the degree is recognized in all over Europe.
Yes, Mr. Durgaraj, you can please.
Yeah, hello. I'd like to inquire about two things. Uh, so first, what is the difference between the 6-year MD program and the MBBS program?
You can drop all of your questions and I will answer all of them at a time.
Okay. And my second question is, so after I finish my A levels, I'm doing the British curriculum. So after I finished my A levels, I have to do another entrance exam to get into university in Hungary, correct? Yeah,
Yes.
so what value exactly does my A level score have then? And in terms of scholarships and stuff like that. Those are my two questions.
All right. So your first question is mainly the difference between an MD and MBBS. So the thing is that in Hungary, a few years back, the education system for Hungary was, and even right now, the overall education system, the higher education system is the Bolgona process. So they follow that. And because of that, the a lot of the university degrees, once the student got into university, they used to graduate with a master's level degree. The programs were not broken down into bachelor's and master's level like they are usually in other countries. Now they have changed it, but for certain programs, it is still like that. And medicine is one of those programs. So what the situation is right now is that the duration of the medicine program is sort of the same, but instead of an MBBS degree, the difference between MBBS and MD basically is that MBBS is basically the bachelor's of medicine students, whereas MD is the master's because it is a specialization in medicine. You graduate with a doctor of medicine degree. So if you are studying anywhere else in the world, you will do the MBBS degree first, and then you will specialize in medicine, and then you will get the MD degree. Here, in the same duration, you will be graduating with a master's level degree, you can say a specialized degree, which is the MD degree. So that is, I hope that wasn't too confusing, but that is the basic difference. And now your second question was that your entrance exam is going to be conducted. So what about your A-level scores? So your A-level scores, again, the university primarily relies on entrance exam for the admission. But for example, right now we are offering scholarships. So when you apply, if there are any scholarships being offered, for all the scholarships that the university offers, they do consider the entrance exam as well as the previous academic background of the student. So obviously, if you have A's in your A levels, then the chances of getting a scholarship are increased then. And again, if you are applying for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Program, the sending partners in a lot of the countries, they usually nominate the students from the country, because it is a complicated process, the process for stipendium, because you have to get nominated at multiple different steps, and the very first one is getting nominated by your sending partner. And a lot of the times the sending partners are nominating the students on the basis of their grade 11 or 12 results. So yeah, it does matter, especially when it comes to the scholarship opportunities.
Nitya Kalyani can ask your questions.
Hi, I would like to ask a question related to the difference what you explained about MBBS and MD, where you said it's a masters. So the students pick up a specialization during their tenure, or do they pick up like it's a pediatric or oncology or ophthalmology? Do they pick, or it's a regular course?
It is a
Because in
regular
India
course.
they treat MD. Yeah, so then in India they treat MD as equivalent to MBBS. Since there is no specialization, here we treat it as it's equal to MBBS, I believe, right?
Yeah, because a lot of the students, they do end up doing their specialization even when they are graduating with the MD degree. So it depends on the student's preference, and also it depends on in which country eventually the student is going to do their practice in. So overall, again, if when it comes to getting into the very nitty gritty, the bulletins are going to help you a lot, because in that you are going to get a breakdown of every single thing that the student is going to study during these 6 years. So that will give you a lot more insight into the programs.
Yeah, from what I've understood, the MD course is the 6 year is I can get the Doctor of Medicine degree certificate in the same duration as doing the MBBS. But the only thing that I'm concerned about is which so I'm guessing that it'll be more difficult. There'll be more research and there'll be a lot more things to do compared to the MBBS in that case. And in that case, which one would you recommend?
At University of Debrecen, we don't have any other course. We don't have an MBBS program. The only program that we offer in medicine is the MD program. But again, to get like insights into how difficult the course is going to be, when am I going to start my clinical practices, is it going to be a specialization, or will I be able to choose anything, etc., etc., etc. I always suggest that the students themselves go through the bulletins, because you need to know what you are getting yourself into before you apply to the university. Because obviously, when you are applying to you're not applying for just one university, you will have multiple options in front of you. So it's better to look into the bulletins to see what the course is all about. And if you want to do your research, I would suggest that you search the word one tier programs in Hungary, because the MD program, the dentistry program, as well as some of the law related programs in Hungary, all of these are one tier programs. That is what I tried to explain initially, the Bolgona process. The term that is used for these programs is one tier. So if you do a little bit of research on that, you will be able to understand it a lot better.
Okay, understand. Thank you. Yeah.
We have 2 open questions on the board.
How many years can students non-medical can get postgraduate work permit? How many hours students can work per week? So the postgraduate work visa for 9 months is given to the students after graduation, and during their studies they can work for 30 hours a week. What can a student do if he or she doesn't pass FMGE? What can I say about that?
All right. The FMG exam, yeah, it's something that Government of India, the Medical Council has set the standard. So obviously, you have to take multiple attempts and prepare yourself so that you clear your exam and then get yourself registered. There's one more.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yes, we can hear you. Please go
Thank
ahead.
you. I just want to add about the FMG since a lot of people are asking. I'm from India, so FMG is basically, ma'am, about our Indian situation aspects. It's not, there is no connection between your university or about your country. It's purely about something related with the gynecology aspects, what they are studied in the clinical rotation part. So how aware, I mean, how well they are aware about Indian systems. That's about the questions comes for the FMG aspects. There is no way related with other country syllabus. It's purely for Indian perspective. The questions will come. And there is no statistics, ma'am. I just want to tell in this forum, there is no proper statistics for FMGE passing percentage because no one has cleared the very first attempt. Because normally, after clearing the FMG, their program from outside country, they don't they don't give the FMG immediately. They have taken classes from either during their studies or after reaching the country. They used to take a 1 year time and they don't clear the very first attempts. So we cannot say this particular universities are getting a more percentage. We can't say because there are so many pages who's appearing in the FMG every year. For example, we have a 2 times FMG. So there is no proper statistics data for clearing FMG.
Yeah, and
not only
I
for
think that what I understand that it is also mandatory for Indian students to do additional 1 year's internship to eventually
exactly.
get their license, right?
Ma'am, you are right. You are exactly right. And that's the reason I asked, ma'am. See, for example, if somebody is cleared a USMLE or CLAB exam, they can go and work in India some extent without given the FMG or, without giving that internship in 1 year in India. So I just a curiosity about if somebody is going to clear the your licensure exam, Hungary licensure exam, medicine license exam, they can go for any other country, right? Like Germany or any other country, go and practice, right?
Yes, they can go and practice, but again, the thing, because for India, correct me if I'm wrong, because what I understand is initially FMGE is the term that I'm listening for the first time, but the term that I was familiar with was the next one and next two. And what my understanding was that initially the students had to do the next one exam, then they do 1 year internship, and then they do the next two exam. So,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
mhm.
You are right, but it's yet to amended in India. It is in the discussion, but yet to decided for next exam. Till FMG only is there.
Right, right. Well, so again, the thing is that eventually this has nothing to do with the university or the university's course. It has everything to do with where the student eventually wants to do their practice in. And what the university can do from our side is that we can make sure that from wherever the student is, the degree is recognized in their country. So when it comes to the medicine program of University of Debrecen, our degree is recognized in India because the NMC, they recognize, the WFME recognized accredited program, so the program is automatically recognized by NMC. So but other than that, the exams and everything, these are the things that for which you can get more insights from the agents themselves, because from the university can't really guide you about this.
Thank you for that. I have the other one, Mr. Mexico. You can ask your question. You have to unmute, sir. Yourself, you have to unmute and you can ask your question. You have to unmute and you can ask your questions. Maybe you can type in your question in the chat box and the panelist able to answer your question, sir. Okay. Okay, so you have any more questions from the audience, from the attendees? You can ask maybe last few questions, 1 or 2 questions. And meanwhile, I'll just quickly play the initial video about Bezalel Study Consultant, that what we do. And there are many people, they've been asking about how to contact us. And this webinar is not only for people who have approached us through a campaign, through a web social media, also through the friends. So for just to have more details about the company. So I'm going to play a quick video. Meanwhile, in case of any questions, you can drop in the question bar in the drop in the question in the box so that the panelists can answer. Quickly, we'll have this video played for you guys.
Bezalel Study Consultants LLC in UAE is an education consultancy providing choices of world-class affordable higher education opportunities to our clients to achieve their dream through quality education. Our vision is to ensure that no one is deprived of an opportunity to excel just because quality are not accessible to them. We represent more than 200 plus education providers, including universities, colleges, and vocational institutions in the US, UK, Canada, Europe, Georgia, and Asia. Contact us for free admission counseling. For Dubai, please contact 971 505 771 081 or 971 521 262 456. For India, please contact 919 500 898 782 or 918 778 165 213. Email us inquiry@bezalelconsultants.com. For more information, visit our website www.bezalelconsultants.com.
Hey guys, we are BIRC. We hope you're enjoying watching this.
Okay. Yes, so we have last few 1 or 2 questions we can answer. Yes, over to Ms. Laiba.
Yeah, we have one question in the chat box. Can I practice dentistry right after graduating from Debrecen? Yes, you can. You will graduate with your degree and your license. So yes, you can start practicing.
So thank you so much. Once again, I would like to really appreciate Ms. Laiba taking your time and, in spite of your busy schedule, because you all know that it's a peak season for the admissions and the university. People are, they're super busy. I think last week she had an exam, and this coming week also the back-to-back entrance exams lined up. So it's because of that we have requested, the university has accepted our invitation, and thank you so much for spending your valuable time. So I really appreciate. And once again, I want to thank all the attendees, the participants who have participated in this event and asked all your questions, I believe, and we trust that we were able to give you a clarity about all the questions and that whatever going in your mind. And so going forward, we are open. We have office here in Al Mamzar. We live in we have office in Al Mamzar, Dubai, and we have office in Ras Al Khaimah, and we also have office in India. And I believe you can search us in social media. We are actively available in all the media platform, and you can reach out through our website www.bezalelconsultants.com, or else you can call us. And the same the session has been lived through our YouTube channel. So the link will be shared to all the registered participant. And I believe that during this, we have shared our numbers as well. So you can contact us, and our team are here to help you and give you support. And as with all the experience that what we carry, we would believe and we trust that we can able to deliver you, show a right path to for your kids' education and future, that what you're aiming for. So once again, thank you so much, Ms. Laiba. I really appreciate your time. And thank you, Mr.
Thank
Lumi.
you for having.
Really appreciate. Thank you so much. And please do drop in your message for any queries. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.